2, 1.
My name is Merle.
My name is Kornelia,
and we're doing a Pecha Kucha about Tunisia. Okay, we will start with the Tunisian flag, and the flag is red with a white desk in the center, and the white crescent and the white red five-pointed star are traditional symbols of the Islam, and the red represents the blood and white stands for peace, and it was adopted in 1831.
Tunisia is situated on the Mediterranean coast of North Africa, between the Atlantic Ocean and the Nile Delta. It borders with Algeria on the west and Libya on the southeast. The south of the country is desert. The terrain in the north is mountainous.
Okay. This is Carthage. It's a suburb of Tunis, which is located in Tunisia, and the city has existed for nearly 3,000 years, and it was developed from a colony of the first millennium BC, and it was an agricultural village for 900 years until the middle of the 20th century.
Slave trade refers to the slave markets that flourished on the Barbary coast, which is Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, and Libya, between the 16th and 19th century. All these states were under Ottoman rule. Although the slave markets were filled by people from many places, they were distinct from other slave markets because they also sold European slaves.
These are the Atlas Mountains, and they stretch 1,600 miles across Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia, and it separates the coastline of the Mediterranean and Atlantic from the Sahara Desert, and it attracts many tourists because it's a great destination for people who like climbing.
The Berber people have lived in the Atlas Mountains for thousands of years. In fact, they've been tracked back to at least 3000 BC. The underground homes were built to avoid the intense heat and strong desert winds. Rock cities are situated on a shelf of sandstone that is soft enough to excavate with hand tools.
Okay, the Barbary pirates were pirates who operate from North Africa, based primarily in the parts of Algeria, Tunisia, and Tripoli, and the area is known in Europe as the Barbary Coast. And they were traveling throughout the Mediterranean, the south along West Africa's Atlantic seaboard.
A series of salt lakes known as choughs or shats lie in an east-west line at the northern edge of the Sahara, extending from the Gulf of Gabes into Algeria. A salt lake is an excellent place for salt production. The mixture of salt and sand creates a crystal called desert rose.
In 1869, Tunisia declared itself bankrupt, and an international financial commission took control over its economy. And in the same year, the French invaded Tunisia and colonized it. And in 1942 to 1943, Tunisia was the scene of a battle between the Axis and the Allied forces.
Tunisia achieved independence from France in 1956, led by Habib Bourguiba, who later became the first Tunisian president. In 1987, doctors declared Bourguiba unfit to rule due to his mental illness, and Prime Minister Zine El Abidine Ben Ali assumed the presidency.
Tunisia's national football team is the national football team of Tunisia, and it's controlled by the Tunisian Football Federation, but it's soccer in Europe, like America calls it football, soccer. And the first major honor was the 2004 African Cup of Nations, and they won the whole cup.
Mohamed Bouazizi, like hundreds of other Tunisians, had to deal with poor employment and food inflation. Bouazizi at least earned some money selling fruits and vegetables from a cart in his town. He was doing it illegal, and that's why he had to deal with police a lot. Mohamed went to the police station, lawyers' offices, and was complaining.
On December 17th of 2010, he doused himself in petrol and set himself on fire because the police confiscated his products because he didn't have the necessary permit, and he died later on January 4th of 2011, and his act became considered as the beginning for the Tunisian Revolution and the Arab Spring.
The Tunisian Revolution was an intensive campaign of civil resistance, including a series of street demonstrations taking place in Tunisia. The events began on 18th December 2010 and led to the ousting of longtime President Zine El Abidine Ben Ali in January 2011.
During the Arab Spring, hundreds of Tunisians ran away to Sicily, which is an island in Italy, or to Libya or other North African countries, and the escape wasn't easy because conditions were very harsh, and the hardest part was to cross the sea on the old boats, and they called themselves refugees.
During the Arab Spring, hundreds of yeah, that's the president.
Who is that guy?
Ben Ali.
Okay. Good-looking guy. Okay.
Okay, the Tunisian revolution ended due to the following reasons: the resignation of Prime Minister Ghanouchi, dissolution of the political police, dissolution of the former ruling party of Tunisia, and the government finally agreed to resign and engages in dialogue, discussions, and countries' now traditions.
While vacation in Tunisia, you can see colors everywhere. Every street is full of colorful jugs and plates made from clay and other ceramic products. But before you go there, you should practice your bargain skills. There are lots of villages where people are potters for a living.
Tunisia's biggest income is tourism, and according to the New York Times, Tunisia is known for its golden beaches, sunny weather, and affordable luxuries, because if you want to travel there from Europe, it's pretty cheap, and it's just a beautiful country on the coast.
Tunisia today. In general, though Tunisians consider themselves to be more liberal and tolerant than their neighbors, women don't veil themselves, though it's considered inappropriate by some Muslims. And locally made alcohol is consumed, they still maintain a strong Islamic identity. Many people spend their day on the street or in cafes.